Good afternoon, my name is Santiago Villaseñor. It's a pleasure to be in this phone call with you. I have to make you some questions about migration. If that's okay, let's start with our interview. Is that okay for you?
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay. Let's talk about migration. What is your perspective about it? Because we all have a different perspective of everything. So I would love to hear what you think about it.
It's controversial because the mirror on the other countries affect not only the internal economy of the migrant country, but also the entire economy of the migrant country.
Okay, and how did you reach to the? How did you get to this perspective on what migration is?
Because the social studies have shown the results, and I can observe the repercussions in my daily.
Can you repeat that last because it was correct, please?
Yes, because the social studies have shown the results, and I can observe the repercussions in my daily life.
Okay, that sounds interesting. Which aspects of your cultural identity can you relate to this issue?
The change of the values, even through people migrant with the different ideologies.
Okay. How do you think migration is present in Mexico?
Um, it doesn't affect everything, but there are people who are affected economically in the terms of the security and the other reasons.
Okay. So let's now talk about the religion in migrants that come to Mexico. What do you think this represents for the Mexican culture?
I think the people have a definite ideology about religion and the culture. However, when you arrive in Mexico, people influence it as well as customs, and it's something that you have to adapt to since you are in another country, and is a culture that you have to adapt to one way or another.
Okay. Now, finally, let me say to you a conclusion that I made for this interview. So, our topic is migration, and you said that something that comes with the migrants is their values, and I think that you are just in the point because when someone comes not only to Mexico nor United States, also in Europe, they come with their values and their religion and with their beliefs, because the identity of someone is made by the environment that they were in, and yeah, and they come with that. So, what do you think about this brief conclusion?
Um, I think that when you go to the other countries, you need to adapt the culture and the customs. But when you go or migrant, you need adapt, and you need understand the people.
Okay,
But
do you think that when we go like in vacations to another country, so we need to adapt to that country when we are there, but when a migrant is in a country, so they move to Mexico, for example, they should keep their um, their identity and their values to get his or her um, personal identity in that country.
I think because you are a person, yes.
Okay, thanks for your time. I really enjoy this moment. So thank you for your time. Hope we can speak in other time. Now talking about any other different thing. Thanks. So this is the second interview. This time made for French girl. She's from Lille and now is living in Paris. How are you? Can you hear me? Are you there?
Yes.
How are you? How's everything? How's the night there?
I am very fine. And you?
Also, thanks. So it's good to having you here. I think we're going to use this time to make good things. We're going to talk about migration. Is that okay for you?
Yes.
So let's start.
Yes.
What do you think about migration?
The migration is really broad. There are different types of it's like forces, voluntary, economic, environmental, internal, external, and so um, I can really tell whether it's positive or not because everything has upsides and downsides, but it's definitely something that's going to keep happening more because of the development of the world and globalization. Science this year I call myself a migrant science. I moved to Paris to study at a university there. I've also been to Netherlands for 2 months to work there, and I can't definitely say the migration has been positive for me because of the change of the environment. I got to learn a lot. I could earn more and I can study at a better university. So I believe that usually migration related to work and education is rather positive for the migrants themselves, but it's not necessarily the same for the town they live because the city loses its workforce. So I guess it all depends from the point of view.
Okay, that's interesting. It's a really good opinion, And then now, what do you think about migration when it comes to Mexico?
I think that religion, when talking about migrants in the world, it's a very deep subject because it includes the ideals of the people who come from a totally different environmental to the one they're, they are used to. And I think it's a something that should be maintained because even though they move from their country or their place of origin, it is still part of their essence, and it is still part of their personal identity.
Okay, so that's interesting. And now let's talk about migration between Mexico and the US. Why do you
I
know about that?
I agree with you because
So, what do you think about it?
I know from the internet that many Mexicans try to cross their US border illegally, which is why the US has built a fence on the border and worked it intensely. I also remember reading a lot of news about people from Central America going to from their country of origin to Mexico and then to United States. Here in French, it's the different because we have a thicker economic and the other countries and the people who come to French from other countries are either for work or holidays.
Okay, that's an interesting perspective. I think that you have read something that it's true because yeah, we have a lot of migration north Central America, but also from Mexico to United States. Now finally I have made a final conclusion about what is it about. So let me say to you, I think that migration, when it comes to working terms, to yeah, that type of things can be positive for the migrant because it's something that they want to be like someone who moves from Morocco and to France, and he puts a restaurant. So I think when it's that type of migration, that it's economic migration, is something good for the migrant. While when it's other type of migrations like ideological migration, forced migration, it can be negative because first of all we don't know if they wanted to move from their country. And I think that when that happens, the only thing that they want to is to return to the country. So what do you think about it?
I agree with you because it is something that is seen in all countries and it's something that will always be present in the world for generations to come.
Okay, so that it's something interesting, you know. So thanks for your time. I I hope we can we can see each other in one of these days, you know, and and to have a more another type of conversation. But thanks for your time. Have a really good night. I know that it's night there, so if it's okay for you, go to sleep, please. Thanks.